Hello and welcome to Nix Trains. Today I am going to do a short video on the utility of the points. So in front of us I have one left hand turnout and the other is right hand turnout. There are actually two right hand turnouts, so I'll be talking about each of them. Now these are quite simple ones and there are more complex switches or points. So now this one I have taken this wagon for demonstration. Now the point is switched straight, so the train would go straight. Now I will switch the train on the left hand point and the train turns right. So these are the simple ones. Similarly, now the point is switched straight, the train goes straight. The right point, the train goes to the right. Now coming to the complex ones. Now I do not have all the points, but I do have the to scale printouts of the points and switches that I find to be useful. So this is one of the Peko streamline points. So this is a double slip point and it's code 100. Now these are all life size, true size. So this is a double slip point. I will demonstrate using this here. So this is the Peko version and this is the Jouef version, which is much shorter. So when you choose a shorter point, it's useful for smaller cars, but it's very compact and your point work will be over in a smaller space. So I have relatively small layout, so for me this smaller double slip points or smaller point work makes more sense rather than going for the streamline options. So it's quite clear here, and this is one of the most fascinating points that I find. I'll come to it in a minute. Before that, I also wanted to show this three-way point that's here. So now this sends the train in three different directions. From the head shunt, it sends from the three different directions, as opposed to what we have seen previously, that was something like this. So it was either turning right or left. So we had only two choices. This is the three-way point, very clear. Now this double slip point, the reason why I find one of the most fascinating after the three-way point is that now this is the Jouef 448 reference number point, and it's more compact than its Peko code 100 double slip point. So the advantage of double slip point is that I have this piece of A4 size paper for demonstration. I have marked the points or the places: place 1, place 2, place 3 and place 4. So trains, of course, as we all know it was made to shift goods and passengers from one place to another. So now in this case, let me see. Now I'll be taking the wagon from point 1 to point 2. Hope I'm right. Okay. Now by changing the points, I can now take the wagon from point 2 to point 3. So now it's a straight function and the wagon or the train will go through straight from point 2 to point 3. Similarly, I can make the train now go from point 3 to point 4 or to point 2, or I can also make it go back to 1 by taking the wagon either to point 4 or 2 first. So I'll be taking the train from point 3 to point 4 first. Then now if you wish to send it back to its point of origin, that is point 1 or place 1, you just switch the track and the train goes. So that's how the double slip point is very useful, and it is essentially the normal set track points that we saw in the beginning of the video. This type of points arranged back to back with each other. So it's either a it can either be a left or right hand turnout attached back to back, or it can be two Y points arranged back to back. So now this Jouef one is a very compact as compared to the typical Peko Streamline one. So the advantage being that you can see the difference in the dimension. A typical Peko Streamline one is about 251 millimeters or about 9.88 inches, whereas this one is about 163 millimeters. So this is 251 and this Jouef 488 point is about 163 millimeters. So of course you'll have to use smaller vehicles or while going through the turnouts of this point, but otherwise if you have space restrictions, the Jouef variant is really useful. So that's it for today's video. If you haven't yet subscribed to Nix Trains, please do subscribe. It keeps us encouraged to make more of such videos. Also hit the bell icon so that whenever new video comes up, you get a notification. Thank you very much for watching Nix Trains.